Welcome to Desire. We toast the glamour and success of one of Hollywood's most desirable women. Before taking a look at the world's most expensive car, we indulge in some uniquely gourmet beauty treatment. And we sneak a peek at some very luxurious spyware. The reigning king of ultra-feminine fashion was born Valentino Garavani on May the 11th, 1932, in Voghera, Italy. After showing a keen interest in design at high school, he moved to Paris at the age of 17 to study at the École des Beaux-Arts and Chambre syndicale de la couture parisienne. As an apprentice, he worked with Jacqueline de Ribe, Jean Dess and Guy Laroche, before returning to Italy in 1959, where he opened his own small atelier. Already dubbed the golden boy of Italian fashion, Valentino's first show in Florence in 1962 was a triumph and the launchpad for his meteoric rise to the top of international haute couture. Valentino once said that elegance is the balance between proportion, emotion and surprise. And for him, elegance is all about the dress, which has always taken centre stage in his haute couture collections. At one of his most recent shows in Paris, models paraded on high lilac sandals wearing light see-through pearl. Colours ranged from pale pink and lilac to white and light brown, with just a hint of Valentino red. Dresses are not heavy, they're based on lightness. For the first time, I created a collection ranging from white to powdery colours, with only one red dress, which is Valentino's colour, the one I'd always used for my collections. Despite his startling array of rich and famous clients, Valentino proved he was also a designer of the people by launching a ready-to-wear range in 1998, which has gone from strength to strength. At a recent ready-to-wear show at the Carrousel du Louvre, he put on a spectacular catwalk display, draping dozens of models across an opulent set of white steps, topped with a huge gleaming silver V. Italian model Maria Carla Boscono stood out in an empire-line dress with a black velvet strapless top, seeking into a rippling skirt made from alternating panels of white chiffon and shimmering black sequins. This time, the designer treated the audience to lashings of his trademark lipstick red in his final sequence of 4 gowns. Throughout his distinguished career, Valentino has collected a number of impressive awards. But pride of place on his mantelpiece will surely be reserved for the French Legion of Honor he received in a star-studded ceremony in Paris. It's all part of the jet-set lifestyle of the 73-year-old Valentino, who owns a villa in Rome, a chateau near Paris, a chalet in Gstaad and a townhouse in London, and has absolutely no plans to retire.
What I want to express is something extremely haute couture. Then I really work a lot to put together clothes. Then they are quite difficult to make. And I really want my girl looking sensational and beautiful.
Coming soon, Nicole Kidman. It may not be the secret to eternal youth, but one Italian company claims to have found a unique way to make our skin look younger and healthier by developing a revolutionary cream made of truffles. This is skincare at its most luxurious. Truffles are a much sought-after delicacy, especially in French and Italian cuisine. But now in Genoa, northern Italy, they're the flavour of the month in the city's beauty parlours. and applied to the faces and bodies of rich Italian women in the pursuit of beauty and eternal youth. Truffle Therapy is the latest addition to a collection of gourmet products by the Daphla Skincare Institute. Catania University has tested the lightening properties of the product on melanoma stains, while the Pavia University has proved its efficiency at preventing wrinkles and making skin firmer, demonstrating that it really works, in response to people rightly asking for results and not just consumer marketing. Daphla scientists claim that these truffle products reduce the size of a spot caused by aging, hormones or the sun by 60% within 1 month. Black truffles contain a blend of amino acids that act like Botox, which the scientists claim reduce the appearance of wrinkles. Another popular ingredient in Daphla's products is chocolate. Chocolate contains mineral salts, mainly iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, as well as vitamins. The most useful of these are the polyphenols, substances with a strong antioxidant and anti-wrinkle effect. It also contains caffeine and theobromine, which Daphla scientists say help to energize and stimulate cellular activity. They say that this cream mixed with dark chocolate, anise and cloves has draining properties and targets cellulite. I feel fresh and smelling of chocolate. Certainly, there is an aromatherapy effect. Emotions are evoked as the client smells and feels the fragrance, experiencing an antidepressant effect. As it's known, chocolate has the property to elevate the spirits. And if the smell of the chocolate is too much to resist, you can even tuck into the chocolate cream, as all the ingredients are natural and preservatives are kept to a minimum. Another sought-after ingredient is wine, but not just any old drop. Back at the lab, bottles have been analysed to screen which grape variety is best for draining cellulite. In our company, we concentrated on using Italian wines, Chianti, Moscato, Pinot or Alto Adige. They contain different and interesting cosmetic properties. Grapes are rich in powerful antioxidants with energizing and anti-aging properties. In the red wine, there are more polyphenols and tannins compared to white wine, so using the reds for certain targets, you obtain better results on the anti-wrinkling effect. Of course, such gourmet treatments are not cheap. A single truffle facial costs around $130, while a do-it-yourself skin lightening kit is priced at $55. Bon appetito! Of course, nobody's life is perfect. But if there's one person on the planet who seems to come pretty close, it would have to be Oscar winner, UN ambassador, model, mother, millionaire and newlywed Nicole Kidman.
Please, thank you, John.
After blowing into Hollywood on the back of Dead Calm in 1989, Australia's most celebrated redhead stole the heart of Tinseltown's most eligible bachelor. And for the next decade, she and Tom Cruise reigned as the world's most glamorous couple, adopting 2 children and starring together in 3 blockbuster movies, including Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. When they split in 2001, Nicole commented to the press that finally she could wear heels again, and that's when her career really started to soar. Undeterred by the broken rib and wrenched knee she suffered during rehearsal, her all-singing and dancing turn in Moulin Rouge won her a 2nd Golden Globe and made her E-Celebrity of the Year.
I believe you were expecting me.
Yes.
And having truly arrived, she wasn't going anywhere. Her face graced nearly all of the world's major magazine covers, including Playboy and Vanity Fair. And she won a People magazine poll for Most Wanted Skin. It's an attribute she fiercely protects. According to best friend Naomi Watts, she never crosses the road without a hat. But she proved she was so much more than a pretty face when she won an Oscar for her portrayal of Virginia Woolf in The Hours.
It's mine and mine alone.
The voice that you hear.
It is not! It is mine!
Donning a big nose and an English accent, she even taught herself to write with her other hand to nail the part. At 5 foot 10 inches tall, the statuesque beauty has had no shortage of male admirers. She's been romantically linked with some of the world's most eligible men, such as Lenny Kravitz, Robbie Williams and Steve Bing, as well as with some of the less eligible ones. Her friendship with Jude Law during the filming of Cold Mountain, for instance, sparked rumours that she may have been at the centre of his split from wife Sadie Frost. But the negative publicity did nothing to dim her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Already one of the wealthiest actresses in Hollywood, pocketing $20 million per movie, she became the highest paid actress of all time, when she netted $3.7 million as the face of Chanel No. 5 in a 4-minute commercial directed by Baz Luhrmann. But not everything in the garden is rosy for the world's most photographed woman, who's reported to be terrified of butterflies and suffers panic attacks when appearing at movie premieres. Away from all the glitz and glamour, she finds time to give back as the UN's Goodwill Ambassador for the Development Fund for Women. Her idea of the good life was a Sunday afternoon with red wine, some opera music and cooking at her waterfront home in North Sydney's Palm Beach. Despite her porcelain complexion, she confesses to a weakness for apple martinis and chocolate. She's also an accomplished pianist and loves to play tennis. Never far down People magazine's best dress list, one of her favourite designers is Karl Lagerfeld for Chanel. She's also a big fan of Dior and Balenciaga, who designed the dress for her fairy tale wedding to Nashville superstar and fellow Australian Keith Urban. Guests at the candlelit ceremony in Sydney must have been presented with a very awkward dilemma. What do you give the bride that already has just about everything? Coming up, luxury on wheels. Formerly known only as a gambling mecca for Europe's aristocracy, the tiny Principality of Monaco first burst onto the world's front pages in 1956, when its crowned prince became betrothed to a Hollywood princess. Prince Rainier's marriage to glamour queen Grace Kelly was the high society event of the decade. In the 50 years since, this narrow coastal strip which separates the French from the Italian Riviera has rarely been out of the glossy magazines. And it's easy to see why. Backing onto the balmy waters of the Mediterranean, this 2 square kilometre patch of prime real estate offers far more than its exotic location. The fact that residents of Monaco are not required to pay income tax makes it an ideal tax haven for the fabulously wealthy jet set, looking to preserve the health of their hefty bank accounts. With few responsibilities and civic duties to fulfill, members of the Grimaldi royal family are free to busy themselves with hosting some of the world's most lavish parties and sporting events. From the Monaco Formula One Grand Prix and World Cliff Diving Championships to the World Music Awards and major fashion fundraisers. The newly crowned Prince Albert has earned a reputation for being one of the world's most generous hosts, lavishing every kind of luxury on his famous guests and treating them to the best of Monaco's famous nightlife. But it's his late father, Prince Rainier, who's credited with transforming Monaco into the prosperous idyll it is today. When he inherited the throne in 1949, this tiny state on the Côte d'Azur and its famous casino were already in decline. He set about re-establishing it as a playground for the super-rich. That's why it became a magic love story. It was really love at first sight. They got married and had 3 children. They succeeded to be happy, and the glory of Grace Kelly splashed on Monaco. As well as Prince Albert, the couple produced 2 daughters, Princess Caroline and Princess Stephanie, who inherited their mother's movie star looks as well as her ability to hijack the world's headlines. No doubt the loyal subjects of Monaco, known quaintly as Monegasques, are hoping that Rainier's party-loving son and heir will be able to emulate his prosperous reign. If something with an engine and 4 wheels is more your speed, How about a $1.2 million Bugatti? Produced at the exclusive Bugatti Molsheim atelier in France, the limited edition Veyron 16.4 is one of the most expensive and powerful production cars in the world. The Veyron 16.4 boasts 1,001 horsepower, 16 cylinders, an 8-litre engine and a top speed in excess of 253 miles per hour, as well as 4 turbochargers and permanent 4-wheel drive. In spite of this accumulation of high-performance technical data, the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 can be driven in everyday traffic like any normal car.
The price tag is €1 million. We just figured it out. I think at the moment it's between $1.2, $1.3 million before tax, so it obviously depends where you buy it. And customers are, well, I think we're addressing ourselves to the normal luxury car customers, whether they're Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Ferrari and so on. It's the same group of people. Additionally here, because there hasn't been a Bugatti out of the original factory in France for 50 years almost. We stopped in 56. So there is a sort of a collector's element in it.
Despite its distinctly European origins, the company's biggest market is in the United States, where some of the most valuable vintage Bugattis have found a home.
The United States is an obvious market for us because there are a lot of collectors, especially in California. This is why we're here and not in Detroit. And East Coast, West Coast in the States are very important marketing areas as far as luxury cars in general are concerned, and there's no reason why it shouldn't work for Bugatti either.
No doubt the company hopes that many American collectors have enough room left in their garage to accommodate this much younger and more versatile model. We sold 1,600 cars around the world last year, so this is a new record for Lamborghini. And we sold approximately 650 cars in the US. So with about 40% of total share of the sales around the world, that's why the American market is so important to Lamborghini. The director of communications at the Los Angeles Auto Show, Barry Topke, also believes in the big-name pulling power of road and off-road hybrids like the Veyron.
A lot of celebrities in particular like the hybrids, but I think they also like high horsepower vehicles too. So I think they kind of counter all the things that they're doing with the high horsepower and the kind of, not gas guzzlers, but certainly they consume a lot of fuel with the hybrids. Certainly people who come into this particular hall where we have Lamborghini, Bugatti, Bentley, and Spiker and others, is that they're shopping at Dior, they're shopping at Gucci, and this is kind of a lifestyle choice for them.
I'll take 2. Coming up next, diamonds and chocolate. Diamonds may well be a girl's best friend, but when it comes to dazzling those feminine taste buds, there's nothing more alluring than chocolate. At least that's the theory behind the thinking of one Japanese jeweler who decided to roll the 2 temptations into one to create possibly the world's most expensive piece of confectionery. Uchihara Jewelers used more than 2,000 diamonds sprinkled over 12 kilos of the finest bitter chocolate in the shape of the African continent to produce a delicious gift with a market value of at least 500 million yen. That's around $5 million US. Both the diamonds and the chocolate are originally from Africa, so I think they go well together. And the diamonds sparkle beautifully when placed on top of a chocolate background. I suggest you could buy this chocolate as a gift for that very, very special person, and your thoughts will definitely be very well conveyed. And if saying it with diamonds and chocolate appeals to you, there's still a little time to start saving before next Valentine's Day. some point in our lives, just about every one of us has dreamed of being James Bond. In between sipping martinis and chasing villains, Ian Fleming's charismatic secret agent gets to live it up in state-of-the-art luxury, courtesy of some pretty nifty high-tech gadgetry. And some of Q's most mind-blowing seagoing inventions have made their way onto display at the New York National Boat Show. One of the favourites is Q's jet boat, featured in The World Is Not Enough. 15 of the power-packed jet boats were actually built for the film, although only 8 have survived to tell the tale. One of those on display is the boat that performed the famous barrel roll stunt, where James Bond jets out of the water and jumps over his rival's vessel.
I think people's fascination is tied to the adventure of Bond. He's a super spy, and actually boating is an adventure sport. So you get those two married together in a movie, and people just have a great, it's a great draw for people.
The Amazon chase boat used in Moonraker still has its water mines and rocket launchers and boasts real working gadgets, whereas most of the Bond boats have only mock technical capabilities. Roger Moore used the boat, which also contained a hidden hang glider, to outrace enemies on the Jungle River. 2 Neptune submarines were built for 1981's For Your Eyes Only, and the actual working wet sub is among those featured in the exhibition. Powered by Bond to fight an underwater villain, the giant sub was operated by stuntmen using scuba gear. In 1965's Thunderball starring Sean Connery, tow sleds or underwater towing machines were used throughout. While 14 were built originally, only 2 are known to still exist. Lastly, the Diamonds Are Forever Bathos sub, which looks more like a spacecraft than a submarine, was used by 007's Nemesis Blofeld, played by Charles Gray, to escape an oil drilling platform. Although the boats may look high-tech on film, many fans may be disappointed with the reality.
It's entertaining to see how they make them look so much better on film. You know, when you look inside the computers and you see the wooden laptop, and it's kind of fun to see the differences between what you see on film and what's actually there.
Basically big toys for big boys. I mean, that's what James Bond exemplifies, so to see them in real life is really cool.
Join us again on Desire for a longing look at the flamboyant creations of Vivienne Westwood. We snuggle up to some very cute and cuddly antiques. And slum it in gastronomic style with the world's most expensive sandwich. Remember to be careful what you wish for. You may just get it.